Well, America, I'm still here. And being here, another thought comes to me that I should share with you. This, what's happening in America and around the globe, is an attack on Trump. It is an attack on the American people by God. Let me say it again. What's happening in America, and you know how big it is. That scope covers almost everything. Chaos. It is an attack on the American people, and it is an attack on Trump by God. Let me ask you this. Black and whites can't get along. They got a problem. Is God in there with the blacks, with the whites? Each one of them will claim God is with them. God is not in that picture. Neither one of them got a God, not the God of love. We talk about straight and gay. Got a problem. Can't get along. Is God in either of these? Is God with the straight? Is God with the gay? They can't get along. God is not with them. God is not with that which can't get along. What about Republicans and Democrats? They got a problem. You listen to the Republicans and Democrats. Each one of them think God is with them. Is God with them? They can't get along. So, God is not with them. We'll talk about men and women. They're at odds with one another. You know that. Half of them divorced. I think that's the way it used to be. Can't get along. Is God with that? No, my friend. God is not with that which can't get along. What about the nations that are at odds with one another? Each one of them claim that God is with them. They got God with them. They are right and everybody else is wrong. I ask you, is God with that? I say to you, God is not with that which can't get along. Oh, my friends. Well, let's think about the rich and the poor. Now, the poor people think this God is going to help them, free them from this poverty. And I'm sure the poor people think that. I don't know really what the rich people think. I never got a chance to experience that. But I'm thinking they're probably thinking something similar. But I ask you, which one is God with? Well, they can't get along, so God is not with any of that. Okay, so we go back to what we said initially. There's a problem with Donald J. Trump. There is a problem. Can't get along, Donald J. Trump and the people. So I ask you, is God with that? And I know you're going to say, well, God is not with that which can't get along. So that means basically that God is not with that. You see, ladies and gentlemen, all of these different various groups that I called, God is with every last one of them. And God is not a house built against God. So if you got a division there, that division is an exploitation by evil. That which is of God can accept the other. And without bending. Without bending. I don't care what the opposition is, the one that is with God will not bend and will still accept the other. The other will not be able to but if they are both, God is not with them. You see, I heard the other day that Trump having some rallies and his people were outside with signs stating that Biden is destroying democracy. Now, Trump knows and his people knows that's exactly what his plan is. His plan, Donald Trump's plan, is to destroy democracy. But he knows how to just say Biden is doing it. And just by saying it, you've heard people say, the words that you say, how powerful they are, they go out and do this. Well, I don't know about the goodness, but I know about the evil. That stuff that Donald Trump's saying, that lie that he's telling, it goes out, and there are people that's grabbing on it saying that I knew it. You know, ladies and gentlemen, we have made sure that people are not educated in this country. We haven't said, let's make sure that our citizens, that our brothers and sisters get the best possible education. We haven't said that. We say let some get the best education and others get a less education. And then let's have some that don't get any education at all. That's what we say. That's how we feel about the people. And since we haven't been that educated, you can have a demon come out and tell a lie like that. And people will just buy on to it because they don't know any better. But then we don't just want to stop on that, because you got people that go to church and they talk about God and they talk about Jesus. And yet all of the pain and suffering that goes around in this country, the wars, the cops killing, the citizens killing one another, the bigotry that goes around, the suffering, all that stuff goes around. And the God of these churches, where these people going to, it's in partnership with it. It's in partnership with it. I say these things to you because you got to know, somebody got to tell you, even though you have been told that this is the greatest country on the face of the earth. Every country tells its people that. And every last one of them lying. None of them want to try or do that which serves the people. No government on the face of the earth, not American government. That's why we got Trump. Because we had the opportunity to go as far as our understanding, compassion, and love would take us. But we got caught up on some supremacy, some stupid stuff. And now here we are right now. The white folks, and I'm just saying the white folks, I know you don't want me to say this, but I got to say it because you've been running this show and you're still trying to run this show. You're still trying to take away people's rights. You're still trying to boss folks, and you seem to be causing nothing but pain and suffering to the other people. And you think it's right because it frees you to cause pain and suffering on other people. When you do what you do, when it frees you to be as what you want to be, what kind of freedom does it give the other people? What kind of freedom, what kind of decision that you make when taking away black people's vote and making the decision? What is it going to do for the education of black people? What is it going to do for the health care of black people? What is it going to do for the careers of black people? What is it going to offer them? Nothing but another punch of slavery. You have not learned a darn thing. And you're ready to put Donald Trump back in office where it doesn't matter. I'm not tricked. I got the strangest feeling. See, that there's some white people talking around here, you know, but I know you are ready to accept this stuff. Donald Trump going in some people, I don't know if he's scheming or played a game like he tried to play before, but now play it better and get in office. I got the strangest feeling you white people are ready to accept it and say, well, he got it. And we, the people that we're going to really suffer at his hands, are left out there to suffer. It could be a trick, because the only way to make sure that it is not a trick is to do the righteous thing. And you won't do it. You won't do it. You talk about the lies, but you will not talk about the right way. You don't talk about what will eliminate the problem. You don't talk about it. I don't care who you don't even want a person to talk about how. Let me ask you this. Why don't you have people on television or on your soap boxes that can tell you the solutions to the problems? Why don't you ever have someone who can say, well, this is how you can make sure that everybody in this country got a job? Why don't you bring anybody on the public medium and say, this is how you can guarantee that everybody can be educated and go to college if they want to? Why don't you ever have anybody that'll come out there and say, this is the way that everybody can have a life in America? Why don't you have somebody come out there and talk about that? You never talk about that. You talk about all these old crazy problems. You talk about what this politician's going to do, what that politician's going to do, but you never brings people on and say, what is the solution to the problem? Why don't you do that? Why don't you do it seriously? Why don't you do it? Why don't you do it? Mr. Marcus, tell me. Why you think we should change our society so everybody can have what they need, what they want, what they desire? How can that possibly happen? How can that possibly happen? How come you on the media, I'm talking to all of you guys on ABC, CBS, how come you haven't asked somebody? You didn't have to ask me. You asked me, you get an answer. They couldn't tell you. But why haven't you asked? It's because you or who you work for or the purpose of this industry has nothing to do with righteousness. It's playing a game. Everything about a game. Otherwise, you talk to people who got some solutions. I'm not talking about these experts who talking about what somebody else did. I'm talking about people who know. Well, that's enough.